everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features two teams playing at a high level. It's up against the Chargers. So with that, let's get you out to the stadium. Standing by tonight are our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are a little less than 10 miles inland from the blue waters of the Pacific Ocean as we greet you from lovely San Diego, California. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. Newton on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. A gain of 6 there on first. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Here's Newton now on second down. Incomplete. The starting lineup for the Chargers of San Diego. Who are we discussing out of this unit, Charles?
A big guy out of Arkansas. Their tight end, a second-round pick, Hunter Henry. Many people had a first-round grade on him. Plays the best tight end coming out of the draft. Has the ability to get down the middle of the field, get into the seams, and knows how to find dead space against the defense and create plays.
From the gun on third down, Newton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. On play action, they'll throw. Ertz has it left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And a short gain here down to the 22. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. And Parkey's kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, it's a night game, a lot of energy in this building, but the visiting team here, they get the ball in the opening drive, and they find a way to at least produce 3.
And things are just getting started, so you can't say that they've taken the momentum totally, but a good start towards seizing it in this game.
This is taken at the 3. And now San Diego getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
Terrell Casey doesn't get the attention that he deserves, but he is an absolutely terrific defensive tackle, the best player on just about any team he would play on.
One receiver left, that's Allen. Back to the air, Newton on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing on third down, Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Give him 11 on the gain there, and that'll be good for a San Diego first down. Now a first down throw for Newton. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
From the 50, Newton. Going up top. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
To punt it away on fourth down, here's Drew Kaiser. And he gets off a high spiraling kick. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Jerry Atauchu brings him down. And we'll take a look quickly at the San Diego defense.
Melvin Ingram is beginning to come into his own as an outside linebacker. Strong, solid, with an excellent first step.
8 yards for the first here on second down. Here's Proschnow, the fullback. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Normally, when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the third down pass falls incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and that brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's the Raider punter Marquette King to kick it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And to give this time to the tailback. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They'll come out in the pistol. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. And right side, Henry's got it. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On first down, it's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Ten yards still left on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Newton now to throw. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout. And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. They'll roll him out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Come on now.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They come out here in the eye. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. And the 10-year vet knocks Knocks it through the goalpost, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Complete. Richardson has it. Give them 22 on that one. And the Raiders are going to have a first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary.
Here we go now.
Now a first down carry by Bell. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll run it with Bell. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Raiders a first down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So they're operating in the red zone. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And out of bounds just shy of the end zone at the 1. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Zach Ertz as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They come out here in the now they try the right side here. And some room to work. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run it with a fullback Prosh across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Out of the gun now on third down. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. Big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On second down, here's Newton. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. To throw on second down is Newton. That is caught. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run it now out of the gun. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on first and goal of the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. One receiver left, that's Allen. Out of the gun, Newton. Pass incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
This could very well be 4-down territory, but right now we focus on 3rd and goal from the 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Left side caught by Matthews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big play there for the Raiders. 31 yards. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. Fresh set of downs here.
Let's go.
Now Bell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, It's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And brought down there by a pair of Chargers on the stop. And on 2nd and 10 now. Now a quick handoff, and this is the fullback, Crotch. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw. Hurts over the middle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Parkey's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Flushed out right, and some room to maneuver. Cam fighting, he lost the football, it's out, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. And brought down there by a pair of Chargers on the stop. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here we go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility? I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Back to throw. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
Check, 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 check.
One receiver left. That's Allen. Newton. Eluding the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now it's Newton. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Newton to throw. And to the right side here, it's Allen. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders are going to win the football game. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security.
Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Again, it's Bell. And good penetration here. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Third down now following the run. The give is to Bell. Room here to run. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over, A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And, Charles, in this situation, this is where the word miracle comes into play.
Have to score real fast, maybe throw a jump ball in the end zone and hope for the best.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And he motions the wide receiver. On 1st down, Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. One receiver left, that's Allen. Here's Newton. And he comes back with one complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the 1st. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Oakland, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.